has led to a slowly growing, but I think positive shift in how people are thinking about estrogen. Estrogen is great for brain function. Estrogen is great for libido in men and women.
Correct.
And that is a revision of, I think, how most people think of the male sexual response. It's more in keeping with how people think about the female sexual response. Oh, estrogen in the female sexual response. That makes sense. But what we're trying to do here is clarify some of the misconceptions. Now, the reason I mentioned dopamine is that my understanding is that dopamine is involved in the desire response. We will distinguish desire, the psychological arousal, from genital arousal, physical arousal. And that prolactin is associated with the refractory period during which erection can't occur, another perhaps orgasm can't occur in females, et cetera. But my understanding is that's also not that simple. And we need to take a step back perhaps and just talk about the physiological underpinnings of the desire and arousal response. So I'll tell you what I was taught, and then you can tell me where it's wrong.
Sure.
I hope. I was taught that the erection response and the vaginal lubrication response is generated by the parasympathetic nervous system, the relaxed, the rest and digest aspect of the nervous system. Hence why some people can get psychogenic sexual issues of lack of erection or lack of vaginal lubrication. But that there are individuals out there for whom a lot of alertness, maybe even, and this is a controversial thing, but for some people, even some sense of aggression or kind of edginess or excitement, adrenaline, in other words, can stimulate erection or vaginal lubrication. So it gets tricky. It's not like the textbooks. It's not like they taught us in high school, as far as I know. I was taught that the arousal response in males and females is initiated by a parasympathetic, sort of relaxed tone, and that as sexual desire and arousal and sex or masturbation progresses, that it shifts more towards the sympathetic nervous system, which has nothing to do with emotional sympathy and has everything to do with arousal. The catecholamines, dopamine, norepinephrine, and epinephrine, also called adrenaline and noradrenaline, are released, and that the climax response, which may or may not include ejaculation, we have to separate that out, is one that is really of the stress system of the body. And then in the postcoital or post-ejaculatory or post-climax phase, then there's a shift back to the parasympathetic nervous system. That's where the pillow talk and the exchange of odors and tastes and other molecules is known to enhance pair bonding through things like oxytocin, vasopressin, and so on.